Hello, everyone. I just recently finished Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, and I wanted to get my thoughts out there as a sort of review of the game. Generation 4 has always been my favorite, and I'm one of the few who actually did prefer Diamond and Pearl over Platinum, so there will definitely be a bias in my thoughts. First and foremost, the game is intended to be a pretty faithful remake, and they did a good job for the most part, adding some nice quality of life changes from modern systems, but there are some drawbacks that I'll get to later. As a comparison to the original games, it overall feels like a Gen 4 game sped up, but with modernized types and learn sets, so many Pokemon at least have usable transition moves before having to resort to TMs or getting to their best level up moveset. A big example of this is that Shinx actually gets an electric move in Thundershock before reaching the level to evolve to Luxio. This is a trend that, thankfully, many Pokemon share. Now, onto the major changes from the original games, besides types and moves. The game has the Gen 8 Exp Share, which gives all Pokemon that are sent out full EXP value, while all others get half. This cannot be turned off. Additionally, the lower the level your Pokemon are, the more EXP you get, while the higher the level, the less EXP they get. This is different from the originals where you got the same EXP from a given Pokemon if it was the same level. While it would have been nice to have this feature be a toggle, it does mean that grinding is not completely necessary to keep a team on equal ground with one another. This also couples with the new affection system introduced from Generation 6, where high affection Pokemon tend to have miracle moments, where they may randomly shrug off status, dodge, survive on 1 health, critical hit, among other things. Another change of note is the Grand Underground. In the originals, it was more of just a side area to dig up fossils and mess around with friends. But here it's a full-blown area to explore, where you can find Pokemon not native to the Sinnoh region. Even before unlocking the national dex, you can find many Pokemon to patch up Diamond and Pearl's admittedly rather limited selection of Pokemon. Secret bases are also different, mainly serving to decorate with statues to influence appearance rates in the underground, rather than an actual base of sorts, but they are technically still present. There are other changes too, such as Pokemon following you in the overworld, but their speed is based on the species of Pokemon, so it can be a little wonky at times. Also, after the universal removal of the game corner, there's a shop instead where there's customization, but it's in the form of pre-made sets similar to the Let's Go games. For people like me who primarily use the game corner to buy TMs though, the TMs are still present in the department store for very reasonable prices. And finally, while it's similar to the original games, I have to mention the remake's difficulty curve as a particular change of note. As I mentioned before, new movesets also apply to enemy Pokemon, so coverage can be unexpectedly better. In the originals, the game also followed a trend where everything was pretty simple and easy, and then drastically spiked in difficulty at the Elite Four. But because of the new EXP share, this is actually amplified. Because you don't need to grind individual Pokemon to be caught up with the team, you tend to be over-leveled after roughly the second gym for all gym fights, and maybe be on par with the Elite Four level-wise when you reach them. However, the Elite Four follows Black 2 White 2 hard mode, and a bit of Ultra Sun Ultra Moon, where Elite Trainers, every Pokemon they have has an item, they have competent movesets and abilities, and they also have perfect IVs, EVs, and nature. Essentially, this means that these Pokemon have perfect stats tailored to competitive play. Now, I've seen a lot of people complain that the spike is too sudden and unfair, but I don't think so, for various reasons. Kids and others who casually play will most likely spam full restores and other healing items to keep up, not to mention that they're using the box art legend probably. Plus, the affection system can simply turn the tides in your favor. And also, thematically, the Elite Four being so difficult just makes sense. These trainers are supposed to be the literal best in the region. They're supposed to be the final obstacle and the realization to the player that not everyone can be the champion. This may just be me, but having an actually difficult final set of trainers is refreshing. Next, though, I do have to discuss some of the negatives. There are many glitches and bugs, but that aside, they did remove some quality of life things from modern games. TMs break again, of which they have not broken since Generation 5. So it was really surprising to learn that. It is possible to obtain extras from the Grand Underground by exchanging, and when you receive them from gyms, you get multiples, but it does mean that movesets cannot be easily swapped out to fit a situation, and it's more difficult to experiment. Because of the lack of dual screens, the poke etch feature is a lot more tedious to rummage through, and some things like the counter are especially bad. Also, because of the steep difficulty spike at the end, it does make it so that it's just that much more difficult to use your favorite Pokemon if it happens to be not that strong, without relying on affection luck. Overall, however, I do really enjoy the remakes. The visuals are quirky and satisfying, and the arrangements of the music are nice and nostalgic. While there may be better arrangements out there for individual pieces, they are not always meant to be played on loop like the ones in this game. As I've said before, this generation has always been my favorite, so that probably plays a huge part in this. Anyway, these were my thoughts on my playthrough of Brilliant Diamond. If I had to rate the game numerically, I would give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. If we consider 5 as dead average, I thoroughly enjoyed the game, and actually have been playing through post-game. I'm currently setting up a team for the Battle Tower. To anyone listening in, though, thanks. I hope you have a refreshing day. Peace.